It is Friday, and we got the TGIF edition of the show, Easter weekend, Resurrection weekend. You're rocking and rolling with the hype man when it comes to Crimson Tide football. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Some people like me, some feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I come here 3 days a week to talk to you, the passionate, the exciting fans of Crimson Tide football, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. We got a lot to get into on tonight's show as we're bringing you the show from the magic city of Birmingham, streaming you the show through YouTube. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and drop that thumbs up, give a like on the show, hit that subscribe button, turn all of those notifications on so that way you can have the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. Also, we're not only streaming this through YouTube, but we got you covered on Facebook and Twitter as well. All forms of social media, locking and loading you the show. No excuse whatsoever for you not to be tuning into the hottest show in the streets right now. Guys, shout out my man John Ivor in the building on the ones and twos in that production studio doing his thing, and we got a lot to talk about this evening. Alabama's first of 2 spring scrimmages is about to wrap up here in a minute. Coach Saban about to take that podium, so that should be very interesting. We're going to get a chance to dive into, has Alabama found its replacement for Jay Graham as special teams coach? They got somebody targeted right now that will look to replace Coach Graham. Also, Bama's got a freshman in the defensive secondary that's starting to chirp a little bit. Who is that freshman? We'll dive into that also, and then we'll also get into the Crimson Tide's wide receiver room. So definitely want to hear from you, the Tide Nation, on this evening. 205-448-1358. That's the number to call in, 205-448-1358. We got to shout out my man Waylon Coburn and also Jimmy Clay. Waylon and Jimmy Clay both becoming members here to the TDA on the YouTube channel. They're both big members of the TDA. Jimmy Clay also, that $25 donation in the Super Chats. Appreciate that love. They're coming from Jimmy Clay, starting us off on this evening. Super Chat goal there. Daily goal, $75 there. Now, for you, the fans here on the TDA YouTube here, we've got the member-only post here, and it's on the member-only section. So we would need for you to fill out your information so that we can deliver you your perks there. So that's the member-only, for the members-only, member-only section. Fill out your information so we can get you those perks right there. But as we get into now, topic number 1 of tonight's conversation, and that goes to Alabama's defensive secondary. And we have a freshman here that is starting to make some noise in the back five, starting to make some noise here in the defensive secondary, and that is none other than Jaquincy Koolaid McKinstry, the 5-star out of Birmingham. Birmingham played at Pinson Valley High School. Now, Coach Saban talked about it this week that Koolaid is starting to pick things up. He's picking things up. He's coming along. He's adapting. He's adjusting. He's really starting to get the feel for the playbook here. And I remember we had Justin Woodall, former Alabama safety, on the show a while back, and he spoke on, Koolaid's got the athletic ability. He's got all the physical tools. What he needs to get down is the playbook and the weight room. If he's able to master both of those 2 elements, then McKinstry has all the ability in the world to get on the field and play as a freshman. And at Pinson Valley, he was coached by former Bama defensive back Sam Shade. McKinstry played receiver and defensive back in high school. So what does that entail? It shows you that he understands the mindset of a receiver along with the mindset of a defensive back, being able to get in and out of breaks, study the movements of receivers, so when they come out of that break or when they're able to distribute the weight of their body and come in and out of a turn, that you could be able to break on the ball as a defensive back and either create the interception or the pass breakup. So he knows how receivers work. He knows how defensive backs work. That's a huge key there. That's a huge feather in the hat of McKinstry as he's making this push right now. I know Saban talked about Josh Jobe at one of the corners, and he's going to be inked in at one spot because of his experience. But the other spot opposite him, that's where the battle takes place. And while Jalen Armour Davis is currently holding that starting spot at corner opposite Jobe, you've got Marcus Banks, who Coach Saban has talked about quite a bit, but he has thrown McKinstry's name in there as a guy that's making some big-time push. Now, along with McKinstry, you got Ronald Williams Jr. in here that's competing. You got Brandon Turnage, who's competing in the summer. You've got Devontae Smith coming in. You got Kadarius Callaway coming in from Mississippi. There is also Kyrie Jackson, the 6'4" JUCO defensive back in. But to me, the big thing is going to be, how quickly, how fast can McKinstry grow and rise, because he's got the ability to be a lockdown, shutdown corner, the next elite marquee player at that position. And I've mentioned this before. Coach Saban is kind of looking at his defensive secondary. He's looking at that room and he's going, where is my elite corner? Where is my guy that I can put on an island, trust in him that he will be able to definitively take away the opponent's best receiver on the field? I don't quite have that guy yet. But with McKinstry growing, learning, adapting, showing what he can do, this is big for Koolaid. Coach Saban also talked about having those players that come from marquee winning programs, programs that are known for winning titles, producing players that understand how to win, that know how to win, the importance of working, the importance of battling, the importance of competing. And McKinstry knows this coming from Pinson Valley due to she helped that program win 3 Class 6A state championships in 4 years from the state of Alabama. So he's a big deal. He's a big deal right now. And to me, he's got all of the tricks of a trade to be the next solid, the next marquee, the next starter at that outside corner position. The thing for him is going to be how, in both of these scrimmages, starting off with this one that's about to end here, how was he able to play in this exhibition? Because Coach Saban mentioned that his eyes were going to be on that cornerback room. So if he was able to go out here and produce some big numbers, or play fast, play smart, play strong, play with instinct, play with passion, play with technique and control at that spot, and that's a big deal there for one McKinstry. So he's gotten past this exhibition. He's got one more scrimmage coming up here on April the 10th. And then you got the A-Day game, which is later on this month on the 17th. So for me, I look at this young man. He's got the ability. He's got the ability. He's got the wherewithal. He's got the talent. He's got the length. All he's got to continue to do, put in that work in the weight room, which more than likely he has been doing with David Ballou and Dr. Matt Ray, and along with that, picking up more things from the playbook, picking up more things from being around, veteran players, picking up more aspects of the game from getting coached by Jay Valai. So as long as he continues to mature, as long as he continues to grow and maneuver, he's got a real legit chance at taking that corner spot. Because let's be honest here, Jalen Armour-Davis, you would like to see him hang on to that corner row, but it's been a push for him to dig his way up out of the 2 to 3 recruiting classes that have been buried on top of him. He's done well, but he's got to continue to push. I mean, the same thing, for Marcus Banks. He's done well, but he's been battling, a calf injury. Can he find a way to stay healthy? You have other guys like a Brandon Turner, like a Ronald Williams Jr., but with McKinstry picking this things up and growing quickly, will they even be able to hold him off? And then you got guys coming in in the summer, and those guys have talent, but seeing how Koolaid, early enrollee, spring guy, this is his shot. This is his opportunity, and just hearing that he's already taken upon himself to pick up the playbook, to grasp the system, to grasp what's going on, to me, the next shutdown, lockdown, marquee, big play corner is one Koolaid McKinstry. Really proud of him right now. We take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we get into your phone calls, your thoughts, your tweets, your chats. We discuss Bama football with you, the Tide Nation, after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up. Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we are back in from the break here on the number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, Touchdown Alabama Magazine's own Stephen Smith, TGIF edition of the show, Easter weekend, Resurrection weekend. We're live here from Birmingham. And before we get into the Super Chats and take your calls, got some updates here from the Scrimmage. Our own Patrick Dow, writer and reporter for TDA, in the Coach Saban Zoom call. Coach Saban talking about today, proud of the progress that your McKinstry is making. We mentioned him in the first topic. Saban pleased with the first scrimmage. A lot of good things, a lot of intensity, a lot of hitting. And so far in talking about the quarterbacks, Saban pleased with the progression and the ability to manage what's going on from one Bryce Young. He said the sophomore quarterback from California made some good decisions out there today on the football field in Bama's first scrimmage at Bryant-Denny Stadium. As we continue to get more updates, we will be providing you with those, but we got some super chats to get to right now. First off, how about Senator Hines? Senator Hines starting us off with $50 in the super chats. Appreciate Senator. And right behind him, Jimmy Clay comes back after the $25. He's thrown $50 more in here. Willie 351, appreciate the $777 coming from him. Richard G, that $10 donation coming from him. And y'all know what that means. The daily super chat goal of $75 has been met, has been reached once again by you, the faithful fans, the passionate fans of Crimson Tide football. Appreciating you guys and everything that you do. We go to the phone lines right now, 205-448-1358. That's the number right there to call in. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. We take our first call, and it comes from Wayland. What's going on, man? Happy Friday to you.
TGIF, I tell you, I heard the quarterback battle today down there. It was like King Kong versus Godzilla, and I know who won, and I'm not gonna tell. Anyway, Stephen, what do you think about the quarterback race? Now I'm hearing like I could feel the ground shake all the way up here in Fayette County. I knew they was really getting at it today. Whew.
The team got at it today, Wayland. Coach Saban said proud of the energy, of the intensity, a lot of hitting going on. Now, he mentioned that Bryce Young progression today, being able to manage everything, read his keys, make good throws, strong throws. I think Paul Tyson also did well today. I'm waiting for some more updates to come in, but this is what you want. You want the competition in the quarterback situation. You want competition all over the field. You did not get a spring last year. You got one this year. And Coach Saban wants to see all of these young men go to work. And after hearing him so far today, the guys went to work.
Yeah, sounds like I said, I could feel the ground shaking there a few times when I was down in Fayette. I knew they was letting them pass pop pretty hard, but everybody's looking good in the queue there, and everybody in the queue waiting on the phone there. We appreciate all the calls and everybody in the chat, Blue Rinse Gang, all the people, TDA appreciates everybody. The goal every day being, man, I tell you, we smoking here, man. We smoking mirror. Well, we're going to end it quick here today and get out of here because it's Easter weekend. Everybody stay safe. Let's all be back on Monday. We're going to end this for him here, one for Steven there. He works awful hard. He deserves this. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the best podcaster out of them all? It's Stephen M. Smith from TDA. He'll always give you a thrill through the summer heat and the autumn chills. He'll send you videos of popping pads and pounding feet. He'll talk about the teams who failed to defeat. A taste of a sweet hit after hit. He'll tell you the offense and defense never quit. More the ball and step and run. Let's show all the fans he's number one. All right, Steven, I'm out of here. Y'all be good. Have a good weekend. See everybody on Monday. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate that call. They're coming from Wagon. I gotta get that poem mounted up somewhere in the studio here. But we take our next call of the evening. You're live on the show. What's going on? Live on the show, caller. How you feeling?
Oh, I was just making sure you knew it was your boy Senator. What's good, Steven?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Today was the first of 2 scrimmages. Coach Saban sounding pleased with the intensity, the hitting, so that's good for the defense. Said some good things about Bryce Young in terms of his development, managing the situation. I'm getting more updates in as we continue to go about today, but so far on the first day, Coach Saban, pretty pleased with the guys out there.
I'm hearing buzz about this defense, man. Everybody's talking about how deep we are at defense. We've been talking about it all off season, and I honestly think we're going to be set in the middle of our defense, starting at middle linebacker to that defensive tackle. I honestly believe Saban's going to go to a nice 3-man rotation right there in the middle of our defense as far as the linebacker position, because of the athleticism that we have is spread out there. Not trying to, work Christian Harris or Jalen Moody too hard, spelling them with one of the, the number 3 guys. But definitely that defensive tackle position, you have to use DJ Dell and Tim Smith. You have to give those boys reps because, and then you got not Delacourt, the other boy behind them. What's the guy's name? Played defensive tackle last year. Oh my
Burrows.
God. Jaleel, yes. Oh my God. You can't. I mean, how do you stop these guys from getting reps? If you're talking about longevity, keeping guys fresh and healthy for that mid-season stretch, that mid-season SEC stretch, the schedule is favorable for us to get guys reps too. I don't think people have really looked at our schedule, but it's looking like a great year, man. My only prayer is let's get through this spring with no injuries. No injuries. I'm talking about no major injuries.
That's the prayer. That's the prayer in the door for every Alabama fan. Get through spring with no injuries, and ever since Bama's brought in David Ballou and Dr. Matt Ray, they have made that their moniker as well. Now, what I'm excited about right now is we're in the month of April. This is the month where we hear news of will the SEC approve the one-time transfer waiver and have Henry To'oTo'o come to the Crimson Tide via transfer. So we are in the month where we could see, does Bama get an extra linebacker from the portal or not?
I wanted to ask this earlier on the show, probably like 2 weeks ago. Do you honestly believe, and this is, I'm not saying I would disagree with it or anything, but do we need To'oTo'o? I mean, he would be an addition. Let's not discount that. I'm not discounting him. I'm not discounting what he did at Tennessee, but you look at what he was surrounded by at Tennessee, you kind of had no choice but to shine at Tennessee. And then you come over to Bama, you look at all the talent that we had sitting behind Dylan Moses and Christian Harris last year that barely got to see the field. Do you really think To'oTo'o can come in and really make that much of an impact to the point where he's pulling reps from guys that's been waiting already and steadily improving? Given the situation last year, they couldn't get a lot of reps, but this year, you believe he could come in and make that type of a push?
I think he could, but also I want to see where is Shane Lee, because we haven't seen him since 2019. Has he gotten faster? Has he gotten quicker? Has he gotten better? Is his sideline ability, the speed, has that improved? If that's improved with Shane Lee, then that's a great thing. So that's what I want to see. But we appreciate that call coming from our own Senator Hines, who's starting us off on today. Talking about Crimson Tide football here. We got a couple of more super chats to get to. How about Roll Tide and Rise Up? That $25 donation, appreciate him. And Richard G again with 20 and 5 more. So 25 from Richard G. 25 from Roll Tide and Rise Up and 25 from Richard G. You guys have been killing it right now, helping us out here on the show. But finishing up Senator's point, I wouldn't mind Henry Toto, in here. I think he can make an impact. He can make a difference. But like I said, I kind of want to see, where is Shane Lee right now? Has he gotten faster? Has he gotten smooth? Has he gotten better? Is his sideline quickness improved? If those things are on the up and up, then, maybe Alabama may not need the addition of the young man from Tennessee through the portal. But we will see what happens. But a quick topic right here before we go to break right now, and it goes to one Will Anderson, the sophomore linebacker from the state of Georgia, came in last year as a 5-star and had an incredible season as a freshman. And he was one of few guys that, Bama Nation, y'all were really excited about when he came in. And not only did he come in, but he conquered, he dominated, he had success, even without having to spring. 52 tackles, 7 sacks, 10.5 tackles for loss, 8 quarterback hurries, freshman All-SEC, freshman All-American. The guy was a complete menace, but he's already focused on the upcoming season in the fall. Check out Will Anderson, a.k.a. the Terminator, talking to reporters on yesterday.
Hey, Will. Yeah, just what do you want to work on this offseason? Obviously, everybody's asked about your freshman year, but what do you want to improve from year 1 to year 2?
Just being a leader, stepping up, being more vocal. I kind of lead through my actions sometimes, but being a leader is one thing I want to step up this year, talking on the defense with the other guys, and just getting better with my teammates and as a position group.
I was Will Anderson talking about becoming a more vocal leader, and I'm excited to see what he does in year 2 at Alabama. Folks, we take a break right now on the show. Don't touch that dial. Just getting started. When we come back, we get into the wide receiver room. Alabama's lost 4 aces to the NFL. It's got its next group in. How far can John Mechie take this group? And will a freshman take on an Amari Cooper type of role? We'll talk about the wide receivers after this.
You know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace at weownthefourthquarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your 4-finger bling necklace right now at weownthefourthquarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
And we are back into the action here, folks, on the #1 forum for Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the night show. As always, give the show a thumbs up, give a like on the show, hit that subscribe button, turn all of those notifications on so that way you can have the best news, notes, alerts on your favorite program. If you're trying to become a member to TDA on YouTube, here's what you do. You check out the link in the chat line, also in the description, and that link will take you step by step in showing you how to become a member to the YouTube channel. But we get back into topic number 2 here of the conversation. Bama having its first of 2 scrimmages on today. Coach Saban proud of the intensity being shown on the defense. A lot of hitting going on out there. He's proud of the progress that Koolaid, McKinstry is making in the defensive secondary, and also talking a little bit of Bryce Young and the development he's going in at that quarterback position. Going to need both quarterbacks in order to have success, both Bryce and one Paul Tyson. But as we get into now this wide receiver room for Alabama football, and to me, this is a group that's solid not necessarily special, but solid. I think it's a year away from being special. Now, the Crimson Tide losing 4 aces. It's lost 4 guys here to the NFL when you talk Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs III were both first-round picks in the 2020 draft, and now Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle will definitely be first-rounders in this draft. And I compare, all 4 guys to pitchers in baseball. These were 4 aces, and in baseball, when you have an ace on your staff, this is a pitcher that's going to get you 20-plus wins. They're expected to get 20-plus wins. You expect them to have an ERA of under 3. You expect them to be in contention for the Cy Young Award. You expect them to have the filthiest stuff in the world. You're talking about an unhittable fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, split finger, two-seam fastball, four-seamer, cutter, whatever the pitch may be. You expect them to have the nastiest stuff out there on the mound. And if somebody is to hit their pitch, your mouth falls wide open and you go, you can hit this guy? You can hit this cat right here? So Bama had 4 aces at the wide receiver position, and it was so crazy that from 2017 to 2020, in particular 2018 and 19, you had all 4 of those guys, Jeudy, Ruggs, Smitty, and Waddle. They would play rock, paper, scissors to see who would catch the touchdown pass. It didn't matter who the offensive coordinator was, whether it was Brian Daboll or Michael Locksley or Steve Sarkisian. Those 4 had fun out there, and you couldn't double team one because if you did, the other 3 would straight up kill you. So Bama's going from having its A-plus group to now it's got its B to B-plus group. Now, a B-plus group is still an honor group. It's still a solid group. It's still a group capable of doing something, having success, and assisting to a national title. But all of these guys have to prove themselves. And first and foremost, John Mechie got to prove himself, got to take that next step in leading these guys to trying to repeat as champions. Mechie a season ago, 55 catches, 916 yards, finished 4th in the SEC in that category, had 6 touchdowns. He showed that he can be explosive at times. We saw it against Texas A&M, where he had 5 catches, a career-high 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And everybody was saying, well, we talk about Waddle, we talk about Smith, but look at Mechie over here. So he showed that against the Aggies. Then he showed it against Tennessee when Waddle went down with the ankle injury. Mechie, 7 catches for 151 yards. So he has shown signs, he has shown flashes, he has shown potential that he can be really good and carry on that mantle as the number 1 wide receiver. But can he take it up another level? I want to see him take it up another level because last year he also dropped some passes. He had some passes right there in the bread basket, but couldn't squeeze it, couldn't hold it, could not finish the catch. So he's got to be able to have those hands where he can finish plays, where he can finish catches, where he can be that guy that can lead this wide receiver room. And we've seen from Julio Jones to Amari Cooper to Calvin Ridley to Jerry Jeudy to Devontae Smith, they've all been able to have that mantle, to have that target on their back and being the number 1 guy and carrying a program from that wide receiver room. Mechie has all the potential to do it, but I want to see him put it all together and get that thing done in the upcoming season. Now, he's got motivation. He's got a ton of motivation. I mean, Pro Football Focus came out with a list early in the offseason of the top 10 wide receivers returning to college football, and Mechie was nowhere to be found on that list, and he took that personal. He took that real personal. So I want to see that mentality from Mechie, that dog mentality from Mechie on that field consistently, at wide receiver. So can he, carry this group? And then along with that, do we see a freshman have that Amari Cooper-esque role where he even steps up and helps Mechie with this responsibility? And I think you do. You got some guys in here. Christian Leary has that capability from the speed perspective playing in the slot. You got Ajayi Hall, number 17, who is a freak athlete, big body, big athletic ability, big hands, can make those types of plays. And to me, he's that guy, I think, that can have an Amari Cooper-esque role, that can have that Cooper, like ability to take some of the responsibility off of Mechie there. And then you got a Ja'Cory Brooks. Now, Ja'Cory Brooks, some people are starting to compare him a little bit to Calvin Ridley. Me personally, he's a poor man's A.J. Green. You remember A.J. Green coming out of college there at the University of Georgia, just a very pure, smooth, player type of receiver, smooth as silk. That was A.J. Green. And Ja'Cory Brooks has that type of a skill set coming in and out of the breaks. He's got to get things polished up a little bit more, but the raw skill set is there for Brooks. And then I haven't even mentioned my boy JoJo Earle, who ain't even here yet. He comes in the summer, and the footwork that he's got, and the capability that he's got, and the route running that he has. I mean, I remember when he flipped from LSU to Alabama in the early signing period back in 2020. I mean, we all went crazy like, JoJo Earle? Who this cat is? And we turn on the tape, we're like, holy balls, that's JoJo Earle. And he's out there, blowing past folks and catching passes, quick feet, quick agility. Guy's a playmaker. Guy is Jalen Waddle 2.0, basically. Guy is a major playmaker. And like I said, he comes in the summer. So, and he could potentially be the guy that can have that Amari Cooper-esque and help out John Mechie there at wide receiver. But you got a solid room. Not quite a special room, but a good room, and it comes down to how far can Mechie take this team? How far can Mechie take this group? Want to see him become a dog in that wide receiver room. I like what Slade Bolden can provide. He's a solid guy. He's a possession receiver. With Bill O'Brien in here, he's going to try to make him become like the Julian Edelman, the Wes Welker version here at Alabama that O'Brien had in the NFL with the Patriots. I like what Xavier Williams can bring at 6'1", 190, but he's got to prove himself. He's been buried so long on the depth chart. Now, he did make some plays down the stretch of this past year, but can he take it a step further? Can he finally break through? And I want to see Zigzag finally do something out here on the field. And, of course, you got Javon Baker. He's got the size at 6'2", 195, but he only caught 2 passes for 15 yards last season against Arkansas. So he's got to step up also. This entire wide receiver room got to prove itself this season. And it starts with one John Mechie. But we take another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, because when we get back, we return to the phone lines, entertain your thoughts, your phone calls, your tweets, your chats, your dialogue after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now, as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith. Brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com now to get your 4-finger bling necklace. You know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your 4-finger bling necklace right now at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
And we are back in, folks, from the break of the number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, on a Friday, Resurrection Weekend, Easter weekend. Appreciate everybody tuning into the show on this evening. I go tongue-tied there. Now, before we get into your phone calls to take your thoughts, your concerns, your questions on Bama football, got to remind you of mybookie.ag. That's mybookie.ag. So if you're feeling fortunate, you feeling lucky, you feel like you got the swag, the style, the skills to pay the bills when it comes to wagering on these football games, check out our folks at mybookie.ag. You use the promo code today, you sign up, mybookie.ag, and when you do sign up and make the right play, you use that code TD Alabama to get that deposit matched halfway all the way up to $1,000. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it. Check them out right now, mybookie.ag. That's mybookie.ag using that promo code TD Alabama. But we also got some super chats to get to. Senator Hans, that $5 donation coming from Senator. Also Spencer Revley, that $5 coming from him. And Jimmy Clay again, baby. Boom, baby. That $10 coming from one Jimmy Clay. Appreciating the love pouring in from you guys here on the show. Nick Saban continuing to say huge things. Raven, Koolaid, McKinstry, he stated that, the young man has a chance to really contribute to this football team. He's been able to really progress, really come along. So Saban sees Koolaid as somebody that can have an effort, that can have a role here on this secondary in the coming fall. But we go to the phone lines right now, 205-448-1358. That's the number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. We take a call right now. You're live on the show. What's going on? Live on the show, caller. What's going on? Lost that caller there, unfortunately. 205-448-1358. This number to call in. We take our next call here. You're live on the show. What's going on?
Hello?
You're live on the show. What's happening?
Hello?
You're live on the show, caller. We can hear you. Unfortunately, lost that caller as well. 205-448-1358. That's the number. We got a call right here. You're live on the show. What's going on?
Hello?
You're live, caller. We can hear you. Live on the show, caller. We're going to check on the phone lines here in a minute. We're going to check on these lines in a minute because we definitely want to get your calls in here to talk Crimson Tide football with yours truly. So definitely going to be checking on that. But as you guys are continuing here, we're going to go to Tua Tagovailoa here at the quarterback position for the Miami Dolphins, entering his second season here in the fall. And he's already putting in a ton of off-season work as he's doing this little drill on a skateboard, catching this device here. But he's also been working on throwing passes to receivers in the off-season. He's been lifting weights, getting stronger, getting in the best shape of his life. Now, he's always been, healthy as an Alabama quarterback but when he was at Alabama, but now definitely in the best shape of his life as he's trying to prove a lot of people wrong. There's a lot of unwarranted Tua slander going on right now, and it's due to, his rookie season. People say, well, he wasn't special. He was not impressive. He didn't wow anybody. He didn't look all that great. If I was Miami, I would move off of him. If I was Miami, I would have taken the number 3 overall pick and drafted a quarterback. It's just time to move off of Tua. Just was not impressive to me at all. And for me, I wonder this right here. Do people not realize that this young man was coming off a catastrophic injury? A catastrophic hip injury of which I was there at Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville. I was there when Tua broke his hip. I was there as he was carted off the field. I was there when Nick Saban cried and talking about this. Like, do people not realize this was a major injury, and we were really wondering would this young brother be able to put one foot in front of the other again? Yes, I'm being literal right now. People don't realize we were wondering, would he be able to even walk again? They had to actually go down into the bottom portion of the wall, the acetabulum of Tua's right hip with rods and screws, and go in there and do some patchwork in there fully, repairing that hip. And then the talking head started saying, well, don't play him, redshirt him, let him rest up his rookie season. And he goes through the whole medical. All the medical went well. All the medical went strong. And then he has the virtual pro day with Trent Dilfer, and that went well. And then despite all of the adversity he went through, played his rookie season. Now, of course, it wasn't perfect. I get it, coming off an injury. But he was 6-3. Y'all make it feel like he was 0-6. He was 6-3 as a starter. The brother darn near had 4 300-yard passing games. But before I continue my point, we take a call right now. You're live on the show. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, Steve? I hear you talking about Tua. People don't give him enough credit. He's a hell of a quarterback. And you're right also. It's time for Mechie to step up.
Absolutely. Time for Mechie to step up. And people are really writing Tua off right now and just trying to let people know he came off a major injury. I mean, what do you expect? At first, you wanted him to redshirt his rookie season. At first, you were praising him. And just because he did not immediately stroke your expectations as national media, you're immediately ready to move off of him. The brother only had 9 games, but definitely we'll continue this point here on Tua. Appreciate that call right there from that caller. We take our next call. You're live on the show. What's going on?
Hey, Stephen A. It's Willie Beeman calling from Philadelphia. How are you?
Willie B, what's happening, man?
I'm good, man. I just wanted to call in to say that I really, really appreciate you guys for putting on a great show. I mean, it's been a pleasure, just being a member of the channel. And I just wanted to tell you the really good job that you guys are doing over there.
Appreciate that, Willie. We appreciate the kind words coming from you, man. And we're going to continue to give you and all of the Tide faithful, Alabama football, 24 hours a day or however long we can give it.
Sure. Just a quick question. I just wanted to know, how are Quan Robinson and Chris Braswell coming along in their development?
Quindarius Robinson and Chris Braswell coming along strong. I know when Braswell first came in, they wanted to get a little bit more weight on him, a little bit more size on him. I think that Ballou and Ray and working with outside linebackers, Coach Sal Sunseri, I think they've done that with him. I think he's looking better. He's looking stronger. Quindarius Robinson, they're trying to feel out his body a little bit more too, because he can get to between 260 to 265, if I'm not mistaken. So as they continue to feel out the body, they're going to be really, really good players here.
Right. I really, really like their high school tape, and Dallas Turner looks very promising too.
All 3 of those guys. I mean, if you are Sal Sunseri, you got to be seriously smiling right now due to you've got experienced guys like Will Anderson and Christopher Allen coming back, and then you've got Drew Sanders and King Wakuda, the next 2 up in line. So the guys coming behind those 2, you got a stacked outside linebacker room. But we appreciate you, Willie, there for that call, talking about the outside linebackers. We take our next call of the night. You're live on the show. What's going on?
Hey, what up, man? Calling from Birmingham, man. You probably remember me. I the one called saying you doing all that capping about Paul Tyson. You must have heard Nick Saban press conference today. I ain't even hear you in there, Steve. Well, he's talking about Bryce Young, my boy Bryce. I already told you, man. Yeah, Bryce, he's coming. Your boy Paul ain't finna see the field this year, my boy.
You're going to need both quarterbacks, my boy. You're still going to need both. Both got to be ready.
Yeah, in the
both
fourth quarter when we winning by 30.
Say it again?
In the fourth quarter when we winning by 30.
You're going to need both, man. You're going to need both. You're going to need both.
He said my boy Bryce out there slanging that thing, Steve. Where you were, he ain't asking about Paul today, too.
Bryce did good. I've never been a hater of Bryce. Bryce did good. I've always been on the side of, if we going to talk up Bryce, we got to talk up Paul, too. That's always been me.
Man, there's nobody talking about Paul but you, man.
Hey,
come on now.
But you got to talk him, though. You got to talk him. You got to have both quarterbacks on this field. Both got to be ready. Nick Saban also said Paul has made tremendous improvement. So you got Bryce doing well, you got Paul doing well.
You're the only one asking about Paul, man. Nobody said no Paul Tyson, man. He's going to be taking snaps in the fourth. Matter of fact, Jalen Milroe probably going to be in no past him,
Jalen Milroe's working on his development and his technique, man. And I like Jalen Milroe. And he's got a lot of upside. But I'm telling you, man, you're going to need Paul. You're going to need Paul. You're going to need Bryce, and you're going to need Paul. You're going to need both of them guys, man. I'm telling you. Mark my words.
You're going to be a Birmingham Southern this year.
You're going to need both of them boys. Bryce good. I got nothing against Bryce. But you're going to need both of them boys. I'm telling you. But before we go to break right here, man, to finish my point here on Tua. I mean, people out there, they were patient with Josh Allen. People are saying, well, Josh Allen's a superstar. Josh Allen's great. He is. MVP caliber season last year. But Josh Allen's first year, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks for the Buffalo Bills. Y'all didn't move off him. Y'all said, be patient. He a star. He a stud. Next, Ben Roethlisberger. Y'all are patient with Josh Allen. Peyton Manning, two-time Super Bowl champion. First ballot Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning, his first year in 1998. 26 touchdowns, 28 picks. Y'all didn't throw Peyton Manning away. Y'all waited on Peyton Manning. Y'all were patient on Peyton Manning. Look what happened to him. Even down to one Baker Mayfield before he got the coach Stefanski in here. Baker Mayfield first season, 22 touchdowns, 21 picks, and patient with him. So you look at Tua Tagovailoa coming off a huge, catastrophic injury off season. He's put in the work. He's put in the effort. I think he is ready for a major bounce back year in year 2 in the NFL. Got shout out the man Gucci Tide also. That $50 donation coming from one Gucci Tide. We take our break right here on the show. When we come back, we tidy up loose ends by discussing the target that Alabama has located to potentially replace Jay Graham as special teams coach. We'll talk about the potential name after this.
If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, we're back to tidy up some loose ends here on the show. Number one forum for Bama football news. Appreciate everybody tuning in to In My Own Words, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, on this evening. And before going to the break, gotta do this shout out back over of Gucci Tide, that $50 donation coming from one Gucci Tide. Really appreciate the love and support coming from him, having his donation into the show as well. You guys have been phenomenal here in the donations. $262.77 total so far. $262.77. Appreciate the love coming there from you, the Bama football family. But before we get to the final topic here, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That is TDAwear.com. So, for all of you fans still overjoyed with the Tide's national championship, we want you to check out our championship collection merch. Now, that means you grab you 18 of them things, folk, t-shirt, hoodie, or sweatshirt, as well as our Got 18 We Do shirts. Designs which features all 18 championship years on the back. You head over to TDAwear.com. That's TDAwear.com, and go over Championship Collections tab and get you that merch today. And this shows that support for Coach Saban, the University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Well, as we go in here now, also, before we go in, Jimmy Clay one more time, $25 again into the Super Chats right now. You guys really piling the money up in here. Appreciate every last one of you tuning in, writing in, calling in, texting in, super chatting in to the show. You, the Crimson Tide faithful, helping us out here. But as we get into now the final topic of conversation, we look at the Crimson Tide. Nick Saban has targeted somebody that can potentially take over or have the special teams / tight ends coaching job in replacing one Jay Graham, who recently decided to resign his position due to mental health issues, as he's getting him help as we speak here. So the guy that's being targeted is by the name of Drew Swoboda. Drew Swoboda out of Memphis. He was recently hired to Memphis back in January. Prior to Memphis, Swoboda was a 10-year high school head coach at Klein Collins High School out of Texas, Spring, Texas. Now, he's from Tomball, Texas. So here we go again, people. You guys love those Texas ties. After the Crimson Tide was able to go into the Lone Star State and get a haul, 7 guys, 7 of the 27 nationally signed letters of intent from this signing group right here, all from the state of Texas. And with that being said, you guys have wanted to get more coaches, have more coaches with ties to that state. So after bringing in Jay Valai to help with the defensive backs, Alabama now targeting Drew Swoboda from Tomball, Texas. 10 years of coaching experience, high school at Klein Collins there. He was 93-24. He's got that was his record overall. A 79.5% winning clip there. He's 6th among the active high school coaches. He was 6th among the active high school coaches coming into the 2017 season in terms of winning percentage. Swoboda, 5 district championships, 8 playoff appearances. So very, very huge there out of the high school ranks. So the last 3 years, 2018 through this past season, he was at Rice University out of Houston, Texas, coaching special teams. For the Owls, he produced 4 punters. That's Jack Fox, Chris Barnes, Adam Nunez, and Charlie Mendez. 4 punters that averaged 40 yards per punt there. Big number there for Swoboda. And of that group, Chris Barnes, a former walk-on, he helped him become second-team All-Conference, second-team Conference USA, that being one Chris Barnes. Also, when you look at him in the kicking aspect, Swoboda helped produce Hayden Tabola, Chris Barnes, again, who did punting and kicking, and also Colin Rictelli here. Those 3 guys averaged 75% of their field goals being made And the big number here, Rice was 17th and 14th, respectively, in college football in net punting and punt return defense. So the man really good here in terms of special teams. So if Alabama's able to bring this guy in as he's targeted, if they're able to bring him in, this is a solid move here in terms of the kicking game, punting game, special teams aspect. Now, for me, the only thing where I have an issue with this is he would not only be with special teams but also tight ends, and he doesn't have just a ton of experience on that end of the spectrum, coaching that respective positional unit. And with the tight end area, with the tight end position being redefined and getting better and better each year, I mean, in years past, Alabama was known for having those blocking tight ends. Now, in having the likes of O.J. Howard and Irv Smith, and now with Jaleel Billingsley, you got more of these pass-catching tight ends. And then, of course, in the SEC, we've seen the likes of Evan Ingram come through here, and now here recently, Kyle Pitts coming out of Florida. We've seen more of these tight ends that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", that are 230, 240 pounds, but running 4.240s, and that have wide receiver type speed and route concepts. And having tight ends like that, I would like to see Alabama get a guy that can really cater to that particular position and have the abundance of experience at that particular position. Now, I understand where Coach Saban is going to with this, and having somebody that's a solid recruiter and having somebody that's a special teams guy, because he does have Doug Marrone on staff that knows offensive linemen as well as tight ends. He does have Bill O'Brien as the offensive coordinator, who's done a great deal and producing massive numbers from the tight end position, whether it was at Penn State or his time with the New England Patriots or with the Houston Texans. So I get what Coach Saban is trying to do here and potentially bringing one Drew Swoboda in. I'm just saying that, to me, I would like to have somebody, if you're going to hire somebody with a lot of experience in that room, to do right by Jaleel Billingsley. Because let's make no bones about it. This is a potential first-round pick. Jaleel Billingsley will play on Sundays in the NFL. We've had Mike McCoy, former Bama receiver, on this show. He talked about it. Billingsley reminds him of Evan Ingram. Billingsley also reminds him of Kyle Pitts. I've had a chance to speak with one Hale Henches, former Alabama tight end, who played with one Irv Smith. And Henches talked about he sees a lot of Smith in Billingsley. The young man's going to be playing on Sundays. So I would like to see, a guy that can really cater to Billingsley and the other guys in that room with that experience. But once again, I can see where Nick Saban is going to in trying to make this move here. But Drew Swoboda, good on special teams, a lot of experience coming from the high school ranks, put up big numbers there, or solid numbers, or strong numbers there at Rice University with the Owls. So if he becomes the guy, going to be awesome here seeing him in the fold here for the Crimson Tide. But as always, Bama Nation, you want to know the best, or you want to have the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You can download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs here, we got you covered here: iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, Overcast.fm, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I shall return on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Tide Nation, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link will be found in the description. Also, if you're trying to cop the print edition of TDA, the magazine, you can do this by going to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, you sign up, become a member, a subscriber today. And if you're trying to get that four-finger bling necklace, courtesy of weownthefourthquarter.com, you can check them out right there. That link in the description also. But we got some more super chats to get to. How about Jimmy Clay? One more time. That $25 coming from Jimmy Clay. And also Agar Thomas, that $50 donation. Folks, we hit 300. We hit 3 bills, $362.77. Appreciate all of you guys for showing your love here where the show is concerned. So until next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, the fun thing, the smart thing, the legitimate thing to not be bored. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy Easter weekend. Spend time with your family. Till next time, folks, spend in my own words.